Pakistan faces significant educational challenges, especially in rural areas, with high dropout rates and gender disparities. According to UNESCO, 25 million children in Pakistan are out of school, and many teachers are underpaid, undertrained, and lack the resources to teach effectively. However, there are unsung heroes who are changing this reality through determination and innovation.
I have received minimal formal training, but I took it upon myself to improve my skills. I use storytelling and local cultural references to engage my students, overcoming the challenges of outdated textbooks and scarce resources.
According to a 2019 report by the Pakistan Education Statistics, 68% of rural schools lack proper infrastructure, and 58% of teachers in these areas are not trained to teach. Yet, local heroes like Jamal have bridged these gaps through creative methods like mobile libraries or self-built classrooms. One inspiring story is of a female teacher in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa teaching in a makeshift school under a tree. Her efforts have helped 80% of her students pass the provincial exams, despite lacking electricity, books, and proper teaching materials. Pakistan's healthcare system is often stretched thin, particularly in rural areas. Despite this, many healthcare workers, especially women, are working tirelessly to improve public health in their communities. Rural Pakistan still has low doctor-to-patient ratios, with about 1.1 doctors per 1,000 people, well below the WHO's recommended level of 2.3.
Pakistan faces high maternal mortality rates, around 178 per 100,000 live births, and healthcare facilities are severely understaffed, especially in remote areas. We often make up for the gaps by running mobile health clinics, educating communities on sanitation, and providing life-saving treatment in the absence of doctors.
One example is Dr. Shaista Aziz, a local health worker in rural Sindh who runs free clinics in villages that have no access to government health care. She treats patients for basic ailments like malaria, pneumonia, and malnutrition, saving countless lives with minimal resources. Another inspiring story is about Sarah Bibi, a community health worker in the Thar Desert, who walks 10 kilometers every day to provide basic medical care and vaccinations to children in a remote village. Despite the harsh conditions, her perseverance has reduced child mortality in the village by 30% in the last 5 years. Pakistan is highly vulnerable to natural disasters due to its geographical location, with annual floods and earthquakes being a constant threat. According to the National Disaster Management Authority, over 30 million people have been affected by floods in the last decade alone.
After the 2010 floods, we saw volunteers playing a vital role in disaster relief. The Pakistan Red Crescent Society deployed over 50,000 volunteers, helping distribute food, medical aid, and shelter materials to millions of people. We faced immense challenges, such as lack of resources, dangerous conditions, and personal loss.
During the 2005 Kashmir earthquake, volunteers like Syed Shahbaz Ali, a local truck driver, organized impromptu aid convoys, bringing together local civilians to transport food and water to the hardest-hit areas. Despite lacking official aid, these spontaneous grassroots movements have been critical to the survival of affected populations. Tariq Mahmood, a local volunteer who organized a rescue operation during the 2014 floods in Punjab, where over 2 million people were displaced, used his own savings to hire boats and rescue villagers. He saved dozens of lives while the national government response was slow due to logistical challenges. Women in Pakistan face significant barriers to equality. According to the Global Gender Gap Report 2023, Pakistan ranks 153rd out of 146 countries for gender equality. Issues like early marriage, limited access to education, and high rates of gender-based violence persist in many regions. In rural regions, women like Dr. Shazia Shah, an activist from Gilgit-Baltistan, are fighting to ensure that girls have access to education. Dr. Shah's organization has helped establish more than 50 mobile schools in areas where conventional schools are inaccessible. A shocking statistic from UN Women shows that 45% of Pakistani women aged 15 to 49 have experienced physical or sexual violence. Activists working in the field, like Jabin Gul, are providing safe spaces and legal assistance to survivors of domestic violence, often at great personal risk.
Despite facing threats from local male-dominated communities, our shelter has helped over 300 women since its inception. Here, they receive counseling, education, and vocational training.
Pakistan is facing environmental challenges like deforestation, water scarcity, and pollution. with over 40% of Pakistan's population living in water-stressed areas, according to the UN. However, local environmental heroes are striving to make a difference through innovative solutions. Pakistan's deforestation rate is one of the highest in the world, with about 40,000 hectares of forest lost annually. Environmental heroes like Shahbaz Ahmad, a forestry worker in the Changamanga forest, have worked for years to regenerate local forests, organizing community tree planting campaigns, and successfully increasing forest cover by 10% in the last decade. Pakistan has the world's largest water management crisis, with most of its groundwater reserves running dry. Local activists like Tariq Shamsi have started initiatives to educate farmers on water-efficient practices, such as drip irrigation, saving millions of gallons of water annually.
I founded a local non-profit dedicated to recycling and waste reduction. We've worked with over 100 households to reduce plastic use and improve waste management. Our initiative has reduced plastic waste in our community by 35%.
Agriculture is vital to Pakistan's economy, but the sector faces challenges like climate change, water scarcity, and outdated farming methods. According to the Pakistan Economic Survey 2021, agriculture accounts for 24% of GDP, but is highly vulnerable to environmental shocks. Farmers like Fida Hussain from Multan have adopted climate-resilient farming techniques, such as rainwater harvesting and drought-resistant crops, which have enabled them to continue producing food despite the ongoing water crisis. Entrepreneurs like Sanya Sadiq are using technology to improve agriculture. She has created a mobile app that connects farmers directly to buyers, reducing middlemen and ensuring that farmers receive fair prices for their produce. Sajid Ali, a farmer from Balochistan, has introduced drip irrigation to his farm, reducing water usage by 50% while increasing crop yields. His innovation has been adopted by over 200 farmers in the region, helping improve food security.